What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I was born ready. Fantastico! Make sure you guys smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel. I want to give you guys an update. Now, there was a bit of back and forth between Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo on Twitter. Now, I was out and about. I think I was at the boxing gym filming, so I wasn't able to cover it and make a video about it. But just to kind of recap what happened, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. he took to his social media, to his Twitter, and says he's trying to fight Canelo and he doesn't have a contract. And then De La Hoya jumped in and says, we sent you the contract, check with your manager. And Canelo, he sent out a tweet saying, don't let them play you like kids. If you want to make the fight, let's make the fight, let's go. And that's where we are. But now, Chavez Jr., he did an interview yesterday on ESPN Nation, and I'm going to read some quotes, give my thoughts. Chavez Jr. told ESPN, I do not have the contract yet, but it seems that already everything was accepted. Everything they wanted. We dropped the weight from 165 pounds to 164.5 pounds. They have a guarantee for me, which is the $6 million I talked about in the previous video. I don't even think that it reaches 20 to 30% for the back end revenue. I just wanted to fight him. A lot of people told me not to fight because just like he did with Gennady Golovkin, they abused the negotiations. I do not know if Oscar De La Hoya or Canelo is ready, but I'm ready. I'm going to prepare like never before. And he goes on to say all they have to do is send me the contract and I'm willing to sign it. I'll sign it. I'm willing to sign it. I don't have the contract yet, and I'm the one who takes care of signing it. I need to train hard and be 100% ready for the fight. That's what I need. So that's what he said, and I just want to give my thoughts on it. First of all, I mean, I feel a lot of ways about this fight. With another weight drop, that hurts Chavez Jr. because you got to look at it. Canelo is a big dude, but he's never fully moved up to middleweight. He's fought at Canelo weight, and most recently he fought at 154 against Liam Smith. So although he's moving up, he'd be moving up about 10 pounds or whatnot. Any added weight, just based on the frame of Chavez Jr. and how he fought at light heavyweight, how he was missing weight for certain fights, going any lower than a certain threshold, like 165 was already kind of pushing it, because we haven't really seen. And see, this is the thing. It's not impossible if you eat right and you get a nutritionist, but Chavez Jr. doesn't have the best rap sheet for doing those types of things, being extra disciplined and keeping his weight down. When he made 168 for Dominic Britch, he looked like he was in good shape, but he probably had to go through hell to make that. You know what I mean? And the other thing is, Chavez Jr., he hasn't even fought that much in recent memory. Once because he had a legal issue with Top Rank, and then he got that resolved, came back, fought Fanfare after like a year and a half, 2 years off. Fought Fanfare, lost, got stopped, so he probably took some time off for that. Then he fought the Reyes guy that's trained by Nacho Beristain, Marco Reyes, and he didn't look good in that fight, sustained a hand injury, and he's been out up until December 2016 when he fought the Dominic Britch, a guy I never even heard of, and he won that fight via decision. So that's not that many fights for, like, it's so funny to me because when it comes to like Andre Ward or whatever, it's almost like a lot of people in the comment section celebrated his inactivity. But Mikey Garcia and Chavez Jr. had legal issues just like Ward, and they were inactive too. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't seem like it got the same feedback as Ward. But that's just a side note. Anyway, Chavez Jr. hasn't had that many fights in the last couple of years, so he hasn't really had to make weight. And one of those fights, again, was Fanfare, and that was at light heavyweight. So I don't know, 164.5, yes, it's only 0.5 away from the initial contract, but you got to look at it like this. If you deplete your body and you keep moving down, half a pound can be a lot. Like Adrien Broner, for example, he missed weight versus Ashley Theophane. I think it was very close to that. It was like 0.4. So basically half a pound if you round it up. And he didn't even attempt to make weight anymore. You know what I mean? Mikey Garcia, when he was in the lighter divisions, he lost his title on the scale. He was throwing up in waste baskets and stuff like that. And he came close to making weight, but he didn't make weight. And he just had to lose his title. So if you guys really know the sport, every pound matters, half a pound. All of that matters, especially when you're the size of Chavez Jr. and you're not the most disciplined. So that's really concerning to me that they're trying to push it. Like, I thought 165 was pushing it. Now making him go down another half pound, that definitely hurts Chavez Jr. more than it hurts Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Because not only, you got to look at it from the lifestyle of a fighter. Making the weight is half the battle. Like G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. Making weight is half the battle. Beyond that, you still have to scrap. You still have to be ready at that weight and replenish and rehydrate within a day to be able to go 12 rounds against somebody who's a good fighter like Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So making weight, it'd be one thing if it was just like a bodybuilding contest or something, and you just had to get to this weight mark and that was it, and then you go home. That'd be one thing. But you not only have to make the weight, you have to be strong enough and, you know what I mean, in good enough condition to actually fight the next day. So that definitely is not something I was looking forward to, them dropping the weight again. And like I said, that just benefits Canelo. Now, just to add on to that, Chavez Jr. said a lot of people told me not to take the fight. Basically, it sounds like what he's saying is because of diva demands. Like Canelo and his team or whoever's pulling the strings wants certain things. They want everything to be their way in their favor. And I don't doubt this. This all sounds legit because Canelo's a great fighter, but I mean, we've seen it. He fought Amir Khan. I talked to Amir Khan. He specifically said we tried to make the fight at a catch weight with Canelo, so I didn't have to move. I only had, you know what I mean, Khan only had 3 fights at welterweight. 3, right? And Khan specifically told me, maybe I'll insert it in this video, he says they tried to make the fight at a different weight, but Golden Boy and Team Canelo said, if you don't come up to 155, no fight. And there was no rehydration clause. So it sounds like Canelo, he's clearly a star, but it sounds like he's enjoying the A-side privilege or whatever. Like, he feels like, oh, I fought Floyd Mayweather and was the B-side. I fought Cotto, I was the B-side. Now it's my turn to start dictating shit. You know what I mean? So that's the reason for all these weight demands. Cotto did the same thing when he fought Sergio. Like, I'm not fighting you at 160. I'm fighting you at 159. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is with boxing, but I'm not a big fan of catchweights anyway. But it's getting petty, like, to make someone drop another 0.5 of a pound. Like, it's already bad enough. Oh, my name has to come first. I get this corner, the ring size, the glove size, you know what I mean? Whatever, all those details, those make a little bit more sense. But, you know what I mean? Just to keep making someone drop more and more weight, like, yeah, make 164.5, not 165. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's starting to get childish with these A-side demands. You know what I mean? Like, do you really think, I mean, like I said, if anything, maybe it's a strategy to hurt him, because that's the only thing I can think that it would do is maybe possibly weaken him, because he could barely probably even make 165, and making him drop another half pound. That's the only thing I can think it would do. But I mean, under normal circumstance, I mean, you still got to fight the guy. You're going to make him keep coming down. It's just, I don't know. I think it's just kind of getting a little petty with the new draft. Now you have to drop even more weight. You know what I'm saying? I still would watch the fight, but it's concerning to me because there's another fight that we should all be anticipating. Let's say Canelo beats Chavez Jr. That'll be obviously a good payday for him, confidence builder at a higher weight. But the fight that most people are really, truly looking for is not a fighter with losses, not a fighter that's been stopped. It's not a fighter with discipline issues or weight issues. It's Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin, right? And if they're making these demands, then it just feels like we might be in for another roller coaster ride when it comes time. Let's say Golovkin gets past Jacobs, and that's not necessarily an easy task, but he is the favorite. So hypothetically, the favorite wins as he's slated to win on the books. Then when it comes time to making that fight, they say we'll get it this fall. Are we truly going to get it? You know what I mean? And with this type of behavior, Canelo knew that Chavez was sacrificing to make 165, and then now at the last minute they're gonna add another weight demand. You know what I mean? 164.5 now. You know what I mean? And they said, I'm not even getting that. Chavez Jr. is not even getting that much of the pay-per-view back-end money. He says, I don't even think I'm getting 20 to 30%. So it kind of worries me that when it comes time to the Golovkin fight, that they're gonna do more like demanding and stuff like that, especially if Golovkin looks good versus Jacobs. If he just goes out there and bombs him out, then I don't even know if we'll see Canelo versus Triple G. And I think it's a good fight. Canelo has a shot to beat Triple G, but I don't know. I'm kind of concerned with Team Canelo, Golden Boy, their motivation, you know what I mean? And I don't think a strong performance by Golovkin, if it's another Kell Brook type of performance where people are like, oh, Golovkin was exposed and he got hurt and buckled, then they might make the fight. But if he looks like sharp, like a David Lemieux versus Golovkin type performance, we might not be seeing that fight this year. That's just my opinion. As far as Canelo Chavez Jr., yes, I will still watch it, but it sounds like Chavez is having to sacrifice a lot. And I mean, not even getting 20 to 30% of the pay-per-view back-end revenue. I mean, his name does carry weight, whether you like him or not. Just because of his father or whatever, it still carries weight. So, to me, it sounds like an indication that Chavez Jr. truly wants to fight because he's willing to concede and give up a lot. So I respect that as from a fighter, because he could be like, nah, fuck that. In any other equation, for the most part, I'm the A side. So fuck Canelo, you know what I mean? But he's willing to concede. It sounds like he really wants to fight if he's willing to give up this weight, because he's going to really have to be disciplined, especially with that weight stuff, because he hasn't always, you know what I mean? He's not a model of consistency when it comes to making weight. And that's just kind of how I see it. So hopefully the fight gets done, because I don't really know who Canelo's going to fight that would prepare for Golovkin. Maybe David Lemieux or something, but that's two Golden Boy fighters, so I don't really see that happening next. His team, Canelo's already said that they don't want to fight Willie Monroe. His style is not good for them or does nothing. And Willie Monroe's not a big draw. Plus, it's kind of Golovkin's leftovers. So I'm anxious to see if this fight does get made. I mean, it's obviously a big money earner for Cinco de Mayo. And it would probably help Canelo prepare for a guy like Golovkin if he is really going to fight him, just based on Chavez Jr.'s durability, toughness, and size. I mean, that'll prepare anybody, because I don't think Chavez Jr. is going to go away easy. But I'm worried about Chavez Jr. giving up so much, mainly in the weight department. I don't really care about how much money they make and all that. But it's kind of a continuation that I want to see, because Omar Chavez fought against Canelo's brother Ramon, and Omar Chavez lost. So let's see if Chavez Jr. can like restore the family name by beating the other Alvarez. So I want to see the fight. It's an interesting fight to me, but it sounds like there's a lot of back and forth contractual stuff. It's just getting sad, man. In boxing, it always seems like it comes down to this. Like, none of these fights seem like they're getting made easy. Like, there's always some back, and they, for whatever reason, they involve the media and go public with it. That probably makes it even much more harder, because you got people like me talking about it. You got websites talking about it. Fans start getting involved. Like, hey, the contract didn't say that. So, let me know what you guys think. Canelo versus Chavez Jr. Will it happen? Canelo says he's ready to go, ready to sign, but he would have to fight at another Canelo weight, and he's gonna have to train. I mean, there's no makeshift training and pink chonies and eating cereal and all this stuff. He's gonna have to really do something. And my last thing before I get out of here is, I agree that Golovkin, if he beats Jacobs, that helps his popularity, and that shows he is popular. I agree he's the B-side to Canelo, but it's still kind of more. I'm keep going back and forth, because see, what happens is in boxing that I've noticed is a lot of these teams aren't consistent at all. You know what I mean? And then you try to defend them in one regard, be like, okay, Triple G doesn't deserve more than a flat rate. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve a percentage split. And then you defend that standpoint, and then they try to negotiate with someone else, and then they're willing to give them a percentage split. Even if it's under 20 or 30%, you're still giving them a pretty sizable one. But with Golovkin, it's like flat rate and that's it. We'll give you a real small percentage of the pay-per-view. And it sounds like you're being more tight with the overall success of the event, like the live gate and the the back end stuff, the upside, the pay-per-view upside, but you're willing to give Chavez Jr. this flat rate plus maybe up to 20-30%. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to take sides with a lot of what these camps and fighters do. Like Golovkin was like, man, I'm not fighting Andre Ward at 168. He has to come down. His team or whoever said he has to come down to 164. He's too much for me now and all that. And then you were willing to fight Chavez Jr. at the full 168 or Carl Froch at the full 168. So it's a lot of like back and forth. And if you pay enough attention to boxing, then you'll start to see these things. Like, that was inconsistent. That's kind of hypocritical. Anyway, let me know if you think this fight happened. Chavez Jr. versus Canelo. Will it happen? Who wins at 164.5? Drop it in the comment section. Born Ready or Fantastico. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.